terms of what this game is adding to the Ghost Recon IP, it's the first purely online version. So it's all about community feedback and letting the community evolve the content of the game. Also, we put a lot of attention into the business model of the game, because very early feedback that we had even a year ago in closed beta was that if the game is even remotely perceived to be pay to win, there'll be mass boycotts and riots and bad things happening, right? So we really kind of focused on something that was very fair to the players. And I think there's two good examples of that. One, there's 307 items in the game, exactly, of which 306 you can buy with either currency, the free currency or the paid currency. Many of them are level locked. So each class can go from 1 to 30, and by paying you cannot circumvent having to level up. The other one, which I think is interesting, is that many of the free-to-play shooters out there are rental models, right? Like you rent a gun for 24 hours or 7 days, which sucks, to be honest. So in this game, every time you buy a weapon or a piece of armor, there's no expiration. It's yours to keep. And so far, we've had pretty good feedback from the community that yes, this is a good balance. You can save yourself a little bit of time by paying, but that's it. In terms of what you guys just played, we're announcing today the first expansion to the game called the Arctic Pack.
The game isn't even officially out yet.
It's an open beta.
Okay, so it's pretty funny to be announcing an expansion pack when you're basically not really.
It is early, but we want to keep the game refreshing every month, basically.
Okay.
Regardless of which stage of the game we're in. So I have a press kit. You don't worry about that.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's our first expansion since we launched the open beta at the beginning of August. I think so. There's a new map, new weapons, new items. But I think for me the most important thing is that this is our first chance to react to the feedback we had from our open beta community. So there's something in the neighborhood of 400 different improvements, balance changes, bug fixes, optimizations that are shipping with this expansion pack. And we're announcing it today for the first time, but it's actually shipping to our players next week. So 1 week from today. The map, which is kind of the highlight feature, is set in this nuclear decommissioning plant somewhere in the cold, frozen Arctic regions of Russia. It's in terms of gameplay, it's the largest map that we've added to Ghost Recon Online so far. It's also the first symmetrical map, which of course as you start getting into a little bit more competitive parts of the community, like the esport crowd, it becomes very important. Because our previous maps were asymmetrical, and we can track the data. We know that they're balanced like 51%, 49%. But that 1% is complete crap if you're a really hardcore player, right? Like it's totally unfair. So we decided adding a symmetrical map as part of the offering was kind of important. There's a whole bunch of new items, 6 new weapons, 3 new pieces of headgear, complete new Arctic camouflage that's shipping with it. You probably saw in game a couple of Razer signs or scopes. We're not announcing today exactly what the collaboration with Razer is. It's much more than just in-game placement. It's going to be pretty cool, and it's really going to have some great benefits for the players. We'll announce it next week through a press release, a joint press release. Finally, last slide, we're open in 40 countries today in open beta in North America and Europe. The game is completely free to download at ghostrecononline.com, and it's many Ubisoft studios working on it, I think 7 or 8, but it's being developed at Ubisoft Singapore. So that's just a quick overview.
Thank you.
So if you have any quick questions, or I'm available for interviews pretty much all day, so just let me know.
Do you actually expect the game to be coming out of beta anytime soon?
Anytime soon, I don't know. It'll come out of beta, I think. So in terms of gameplay, we're really happy.
Because basically, if you keep working and keep innovating a game, it essentially always stays in beta.
Right, it is a bit of a weird and difficult to define distinction.
Yeah.
And so for me, one thing that would define really launching it as opposed to being in beta, like we're quite happy with the gameplay, we're quite happy with the content in the game, so keep adding more to it. But some of the more community-oriented features, like built-in clan system, a built-in tournament system,
that's not there yet.
It's not there yet, and that for me would be a really key to have
before you're saying this is like a gold version or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
All right.